Hello everyone. Today I've come up with a quite interesting plan to showcase some new stuff in Destiny. Well, new, let's say they are new. This season has brought up a lot of new weapons, including in the season, just in the playlist, and in special manners. I want to showcase these weapons in the best way they possibly can be showcased, in strikes and in PvP. However, to fit all these weapons into one video would be unfair, and I don't think I could get through how good or how bad each weapon are. Therefore, there will be 3 videos. This first one will be focusing on the seasonal weapons, the one you can get through playing the seasonal activity or earning rank ups in the season pass. The other 2 videos will be focusing on the playlist weapons, including the nightfall weapons, and then there will be one focusing on the special ritual weapon and the exotics that we have gotten in this season. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the weapons we will be talking about today and testing out as well. So first of all, there is only one kinetic weapon released as part of the season pass. That's the Extraordinary Rendition. It's a submachine gun with aggressive frame, and it rolls really well. It has some amazing perks rolling with it, including Outlaw and Multiclip, which is the one that I have. Outlaw is really common from what I've seen. In the energy slot, we'll be testing out Far Future Sniper Rifle, which is an adaptive frame sniper rifle. It can roll better, but this is the only decent roll that I've got so far. The other 2 energy weapons are Brass Attack, a sidearm, a void sidearm with aggressive burst that can roll fairly well. Feeding Frenzy seems to be the most common of them all. And Imperial Needle, a lightweight bow. And then we have 2 heavy weapons. Code Duello, the new rocket launcher with solar and high impact frame, can roll really well, and I would say this roll that I have is probably the best I got. The other one is the one no one cares about, Threaded Needle, a void linear fusion rifle with precision frame. I genuinely don't care what roll I have on this weapon because I will never use it, that's for sure. So I made this little spreadsheet for all the weapons, put them together in a way that is aesthetically pleasing, colored and stuff, and put a little X next to all the weapons I have. As you can see, I'm still missing the Trinary System, the Retrofuturist, and the Cartesian Coordinate, as this is the only new weapon that has actually haven't dropped for me. So there will be 2 points or 2 scores that I will give to these guns. Final score should also be here. So there will be a PvE point, there will be a PvP point, and there will be a final score. So let's start. Extraordinary Rendition has been great in PvE. The range is quite good. I think it's definitely on the better end of PvE submachine guns. It is also the only kinetic from the seasonal weapons, so that's an interesting one. So for PvE, I'm definitely giving it an 8. For PvP, I'm giving it lower. For close combat, it's good. For ranged combat, it's not really good. And it's kind of tricky because it looks like it's good because it has a big range, but it has a huge damage fall off. So for that, even though it's quite alright, I'm going to give it a 6 in PvP. And its final score, that is a 7. Brass Attack. Brass Attack has performed surprisingly well in both PvE and PvP. In PvE, it performed, I'd say, as good as Extraordinary Rendition, if not better. In PvP, it also performed really well. I think I'll give it a final score of 8. come back.
Zone A lost. Enemy has advantage. Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours. You shut the enemy down.
Okay. Imperial Needle, the bow, is a bow. In PV, it was fine. It was nothing special. It's a perfectly mediocre bow. There's nothing much to it. It's perfectly in the middle. It's nothing particularly bad and nothing particularly good. In PvP, however, as most bows, most legendary bows especially, Imperial Needle suffers a lot. Hadn't had a great time getting to, get the kills, and it was just not a good time. For PvP, even though I got some good shots, I'll give it a 3. It's a final score of 4. Far Future, the sniper, was an interesting one. I couldn't really get stuff done in PvE, because even though I had Sniper Scavenger, it didn't drop ammo for me for some reason. That was weird. But I'd say even despite all that, Far Future performed well for PvE, so I'm going to give it a 7. For PvP, even with my shit aim, I got some good shots with Far Future. Would you have to choose it with other snipers or over other snipers? I'm not sure about that. I think I'll give it a 7 in PvP as well. That makes its final score a 7 as well. Code Duello was an absolute delight to use in PvE. It's an amazing rocket launcher. The buffer rocket launchers have been great, and Code Duello as a new rocket launcher just seems so good because of that. So I'll definitely give that at least an 8, maybe even a 9. However, PvP is a different topic. Heavy ammo in PvP is horrible thing. So because of that, my experience has absolutely been demolished. However, having a rocket launcher in PvP is definitely better than having absolutely nothing else. So even though I would give it a bad score, I am going to give it a 4. Which means the final score will be a good old 6.5. Threaded Needle. In PvE, I had a surprisingly good amount of fun with it. It was basically just like Far Future, but it was heavy ammo, and finding ammo for it was weirder, so I'll give it a 6. In PvP, it's a linear fusion rifle in PvP, so it's nothing really good. Its final score is 5. So yeah, that's all the weapons from this season. We'll see how the others fare, and we'll come back here next week, where we're going to do the playlist weapons, probably, which ranges from all the Strike exclusives, all the Gambit exclusives, all the Crucible exclusives, whatever this gun is, the 3 Nightfall weapons, and the 2 Iron Banner weapons. You might be asking yourself, where are the Trials of Osiris weapons? Well, since I'm really bad at PvP, as you probably seen in the gameplay, I decided not to put them in, as well as another reason being that I don't have many of them. I do have a Messenger, and I do have a Igneous Hammer. I don't have Solar Scarp, for example, and I don't want to do a list because I don't want to put them on the list because they're unpredictable to get. Maybe Solace Scar is going to be 3 wins next week. I can't possibly say. Maybe it's going to be in the Flawless. It was in the Flawless. Or the 7-win one. And I'm probably not going to get 7 wins in Trials, is how I know myself. So I just put together a video with these weapons, and then we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's about it. See you next week.